She has two extremely strong teams already. This is likely going to become maybe the best team in the game. The thing that I don't like that much about her is that she looks white depending on her weapon. Her weapon looks incredible. Today, we finally got revealed by Kuro what she does and what her weapon does. So let's get right into it. So Chisa. Chisa is a DOT support who applies a special debuff called Threat of Bane. What does this do? Well, basically, it lowers the enemy's defense and increases the maximum negative status that the enemy can have. Her kit revolves around the scissors mode and the chainsaw mode. In the scissors mode, she charges her forte, and in the chainsaw mode, when her forte is charged, she deals more damage. Her Restless Liberation buffs her chainsaw skills and heals the entire team. And the most important part of her kit is her Ultra skill. So her Ultra skill increases the max negative status that enemies can have. So for example, the Aero Erosion or the Spectre Frazzle stacks that they can get gets increased by 3 and lets the team apply a Threat of Bane negative status that whenever any of your teammates inflict their own negative statuses, it allows them to ignore 18% of the enemy's defense. So overall, quite the versatile character. About her weapon looks incredible. It's one of those weapons that for a support, maybe one of the best weapons in the game. Usually support weapons are not that great, but this one looks incredible. Let me show you what it does. It's called Kumo Kitty. It has low base attack 500 and super high crit rate 36%, and its effect is that it increases the attack percentage by 12%. It gives 24% Restless Liberation damage to Chisa. Besides that, and here comes the most important part of the weapon, so whenever it has the max stats, if a resonator on the team, and it can be her or her teammates, inflicts negative statuses, they gain 24% of damage bonus. That is a super strong effect because it buffs her, but also her teammates. So the weapon is quite good. Based on what other supports do, we can expect about a 15-20% increase of damage for Chisa's teams. Not at the level of main DPS's great weapons like Zanny or Frolova, but still really strong. A thing to be careful of is that you see how this is described when resonators in the team inflict negative statuses. Zanny may not be able to get this bonus. Please Kudo, let her use it because otherwise Chisa may not be that great in Zanny's teams. I don't know, this is something that we need to check in game if it actually works or not, but do not pull for her weapon without checking this first if you're only pulling for Chisa or Zanny. Now let's get into her best teams. She has two extremely strong teams already. The first team is gonna be the Corethia team. This team is the one that she has the most synergy with right now, and if it was, in my opinion, top 2, top 3 strongest teams in the game, now it may be even better. And this team, of course, increases the DOT damages, spreads the defense, and gives more consistency to the team. Also, she is gonna be way more comfortable than the Aero Rover, because the thing that I hate the most about this team is that the Aero Rover is super uncomfortable. And with Chisa, we're gonna get one very important thing, which is crowd control, and she's not gonna be interrupted as easily as the Aero Rover. This is likely gonna become maybe the best team in the game. We'll have to see Chisa's number, but it's looking really good. And the second option is the Zanny, Phoebe, and Chisa team. We still need to check if she benefits from the weapon effect. This is very important. We will need to see if this team is stronger than the one with the Rover, because the Rover is super synergistic with this team. So I am skeptic about it. So please Kudo, please make Chisa work with Zanny well. So in my opinion, this team is already top 5. If Chisa really works well with it, maybe even a bit higher. So far, I would not recommend any other team besides these ones. I don't think she's gonna be a really strong DPS on field, but we will see once she gets released. And I think she has potential for any DOT main DPS that gets released for her to be the best support for that DPS. Now let's get into the best weapon for Chisa. Of course, her signature is the best in slot. Basically, it gives everything that she wants. We already saw that. 12% attack, 24% liberation damage, and 24% damage bonus. It's the best option by a wide margin, but it's not gonna be that different from the Lupa weapon. The Lupa weapon is really similar to this weapon in the sense that it also gives a 12% attack, it gives a 24% Deliverance Resonation damage, so it's a great second option, especially if Chisa damage numbers are high. If you have Lupa's weapon, maybe it's not that worth it to go for Chisa's. The third option is the standard banner Broadblade. Compared to other Broadblade characters that we have, Chisa makes use of everything that this weapon offers. It gives energy recharge, and it can give 14% Restless Liberation damage, because I don't think she can get the full stacks of it, but still a really good option if you're not gonna pull for her weapon. And again, last option, Meditations of Mercy, but do not use this weapon unless you have no other choice. So my final thoughts, if you like these DOT teams, if you like the Corethia team and the Zanny team, she looks amazing. She's basically the DOT version. I would would say it's a merge between Storekeeper and Juno. She offers shields, she heals, she makes the team ignore the defense, and she buffs the DOTs. At the same time, she's gonna provide also crowd control, and it seems like a short time of field that is gonna make a lot of damage, just like Juno does. She will also be part of two of the best 5 teams in the game, which is the Cardathea and the Zanny team, and I think she has quite a big potential for new DOT characters that come in the future. However, if you do not care about these Cardathea or Zanny teams, Rover may not be that much worse in those teams than she is. So she is not mandatory. I think that I don't like that much about her is that she looks white depending on her weapon. So if you're not gonna go for a weapon, may not be worth it to pull for her. So I would say, if you like her, she is absolutely worth pulling. She's a very solid character, a really good support for DOT, and she has a lot of potential. But if you do not like her, I don't think you're missing a lot. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Next week, we will release a more in-depth guide after pulling for her and trying her in the tower, seeing all of her synergies, how she works, if the weapon works well with Zanny. So don't forget to like and subscribe for more Wuthering content, and see you next time. Bye bye. Cut!